It's an interesting time to be a survival horror fan. The genre has unfortunately become more about action and less about horror. With Silent Hill celebrating its 15th birthday, we started getting nostalgic for the games that still scare the crap out of us and haven't abandoned their horror roots. So we dreamt up 5 favorite titles truly worthy of being called survival horror. As it's his favorite genre, this countdown was selected and written by Mike Huber.
What is this? What's going on here?
Number 5. Dead Space.
It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening. It's strange. Such a little thing.
Dead Space was one of the earliest survival horror games on 7th generation consoles, and it took full advantage of the hardware. While the series has strayed from its nightmarish potential lately, the original's foreboding visual atmosphere and sound help recreate one of the most terrifying scenarios possible: isolation on a derelict spaceship with monsters lurking in every shadow.
Number 4. Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
This game should be played in the dark with headphones, or words that should always make you wary. One of the most terrifying games in recent years, Amnesia puts you in the shoes of a vulnerable character, and open combat is not an option. Layers of the story are peeled back through notes and journals, shedding light on your past events prior to waking up in an old Gothic castle. Light is your most valuable weapon, not a gun like so many other horror games. Without it, you literally succumb to insanity.
Number 3. Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill 2 is best known for introducing one of the most iconic horror villains of all time, Pyramid Head. However, few moments in gaming are more intense than when your radio starts emitting static as monsters lurk in the thick fog, unseen, just a few feet from you. Indoors, you have to contend with claustrophobic corridors and a never-ending darkness. But it's not the disturbing visuals or freakish enemies that make Silent Hill 2 a classic, or a more disturbing experience than its predecessor. It's the psychological journey of madness and despair that grabs hold of you and never lets go.
I'm here for you, James. See? I'm real.
Number 2. Resident Evil 2.
Who are you? Oh, you must be the new guy, Leon. Sorry, but it looks like your party has been canceled.
Resident Evil 2 ramped up the action compared to Resident Evil 1, but at no loss to the survival or the horror. Despite having considerably more enemies and gunplay, Resident Evil 2's pitch-perfect pacing and varied environments ensured the tension would remain, and showcased how to successfully implement action into the genre. From the zombie-infested streets to the liquor-infested Raccoon City Police Department, all culminating in the final showdown with the creator of the G-Virus, William Birkin. Resident Evil 2 was 4 times bigger than the first game in the series, and a creepy trip that's hard to forget.
Number 1. Resident Evil Remake.
Shinji Mikami, the mind behind the original Resident Evil, the father of survival horror, returned to his creation to recreate a masterpiece. 12 years after the first outbreak, the iconic haunted mansion setting is still breathtaking, thanks to fixed camera angles that frame each scene like a classic piece of art, and a subtle but chilling soundtrack. The new Crimson Heads, which spawned when zombies weren't burned or decapitated, added a level of strategy and tension that is yet to return to the franchise. Added environments like the forest and cemetery are a delight to discover if you play the original, and make wandering outside of the mansion more frightening than inside it. Ammo is scarce, health is limited, and an army of monsters lay in wait. It's the real deal.